Alright, hey y'all, it's Pizza Hulk, and I'm back here in the long dark, and Astrid is sleepy. She is actually sleepy. So we'll put our fancy down bedroll here. Chuck that in the corner. Anyway, how you guys doing? I'm doing alright. Having a decent day. I was actually not planning on broadcasting any old The Long Dark today, but due to some technical difficulties in Elder Scrolls, I find myself in need of something to do and time to kill. Oh, I thought I'd hop in the long dark and catch up here a little bit on what Astrid's been up to. In the last episode, now we got at the very end of it, finally, managed to get my hands on a bear. Excuse me. Or I'm sorry, a moose, which was sort of the point. And right after that, a bear. So what I did was I just dressed out the bear and the moose. I took a couple days. I basically stayed up all night. The first night, almost tearing up meat. Got some rest. And then tore up some more. And then basically had to get myself to a point where I could get well rested enough to make this journey out of here. And before I leave, I'm going to leave a few things behind. Where'd that go? Because my weight's going to be too much to make the rope climb. However, the good news being that I now have a moose hide curing. I have a bear hide. I've got a ridiculous amount of meat, like more than I don't even know what to do with right now. And then all I did was go and, like I said, get rested up. The cave that I'm in is basically right behind Trapper's cabin. If you're standing right directly in front of Trapper's cabin, there's a stone ridge that runs behind it, and it's just, if you follow that ridge line behind Trapper's and to the left, you'll see the cave pretty easily. I don't really need the fire, but I want to kill just a little bit more time. And I might as well sharpen my knife here, which got really beat up from cleaning all that moose and deer carcass. And I think I'll let the sun, I want the sun to be up just a little bit. In the morning, because it's going to be cold. Warmth-wise, I mean, here we go. The baseline loot is interloper. Lucked out and got the leather cap here. I've got a couple of pieces of insulation made up. My crampons are going to help me save a little fatigue in the morning. I've got the deerskin pants going. We got boots, rabbit gloves, thin wool sweater. I'm in decent shape. 36 and 23 is really nice, particularly at this point in interloper base loot settings. Weather-wise, I should be pretty decent as well. It is getting colder over time, but I'm only over a month. Yeah. Alright. So yeah, most of this stuff is just going to find itself in a little pile. But it'll be nice to have that sitting there for my trip back, for future trips. I think 10 hours on to do it. But yeah, I hit the old blue screen in Skyrim earlier today. There's some mod that's conflicting or doing something weird. And I didn't really want to broadcast 2 episodes of Skyrim in the same day. And also I just didn't feel like going back and fooling with all that stuff. Alright, that keeps me under right now. I'm gonna drop, I'll drop the coal outside the cave here. I might regret that due to temperatures, but weight-wise, I'm good with that. Yeah, I think I'll keep the... I want coal to respawn in here. And this cave is kind of like broken. Whereas it can take a while for some of the other caves to respawn coal. I don't really want to quote any particular time because I don't think it really makes sense. Need a little sip. I have a little bit of blackberry lemonade and then some iced tea. It's chilly, but not too bad. Alright, I think I'll leave those 4 there for me. Anyway, coal respawns over time, but for whatever reason in this cave, it seems to respawn pretty quickly. I don't know whether it's supposed to take, 30 days, a couple weeks. It just depends. It really, I think it's more random than that. I don't know if that's a bug or a glitch, or maybe I'm just crazy. But I usually would do this. I sleep in the cave. There's another cave down below I could have made if I wasn't quite as tired as I was. I could have gone like halfway. And I'll show you. I'll point that out. So I'm on my way to Mountain Town. This will be my first new area after arriving in Mystery Lake from Forsaken Airfield via Transfer Pass and Broken Railroad and Forlorn Musket. It sounds like I've been to a lot of places, but I've been in a straight line. It feels like, anyway, until now. How am I doing? And how many cats? It's probably enough for now. Yeah. But where we're going is one of my favorite places. There's a lot of wolves here. Some places are kind of super dangerous, other places aren't. I doubt I'll be exploring all of it while I'm here. I could. I do have the crampons. But we'll see. But what I was going to point out is that this place has a ridiculous amount of harvestables, mushrooms, but mostly rose hips. I'll be able to gather hundreds of them. And I'll use some to make some teas to help get my cooking skill up. Same with the mushrooms. Any soups and whatnot. Because I want to take advantage. There's 2 6-burner stoves here. And I want to try to get, whatever cooking I can get. accomplished. And we'll put on the old, whoops, crampons there, and that climbing down, especially this isn't a very long climb, it's probably where they come in the best, I think. You don't usually lose a ton of fatigue on a short climb down like this, but this, I feel, is where you're getting your greatest reduction. Because you already kind of climb down quicker anyway. There could be a wolf or wolves in here, so keep that in mind. It shouldn't bother me, but I certainly want to point them out. But just like anywhere in this game, you know, it doesn't mean they're going to be there. I do hear one now. Got a couple of these, just for the kings. So, I think it's back here, yeah. I could be wrong. I don't want to use up too much space. No, it must be further up. There's a cave, I promise. Now, I don't know if you could say for certain that Mountain Town has the most harvestables, but I think it does. Because if you count this area, you count all the acorns, all the rose hips, mushrooms, etc. There's a lot. So, great place to come if you want to work on your cooking skill. Like I said, there's a 6-burner stove, so that's going to help you conserve. There it is. Firewood. I can put 6 cups of rosehip tea on. Cook them in the same amount of time as 1.
This will come in handy.
Take those for sure. So that's what I really, really needed to come here and find. I was starting to get low on these guys right here. Have a quick peek around. Now, if I was doing this without the crampons on, I'd be doing basically the same. Hopefully I would have stayed in that cave overnight to shorten it and not have to climb down. But you can do it from the cave that I just came from too. But every step that I take, and even when I'm just standing around, I'm losing fatigue. So if I was truly doing pretty much any playthrough really, I would be booking it, if I didn't have crampons, straight from rope to rope. Just so I could conserve as much energy as possible. And I've got the fatigue set to what I think is a realistic amount of drain, which is low. But generally speaking, you are going to be using so much more, just even walking and wandering around. So keep that in mind. You actually lose the least amount of fatigue, I think, in interloping. Got the crampons on. Let's climb a rope. And again, this is not a very long climb, but it's still, and even with the crampons, I like to point out, it's going to wreck my tea. So 2 climbs without crampons and your regular fatigue drain, even on like Pilgrim or Voyager, I'd say there's a good chance that you're going to be just about wiped. If you got any coffee or rosehip pie, you want to use those. But we're up here. And I'm not quite to the halfway mark yet. I saw a couple maples over here to my right. I'm going to go grab those. And I'm going to see something. I'm curious as to whether I can... I would bet you can cure stuff in this office up here. So I'm going to see if these guys will cure up here. I don't really have a plan on making a bow, so I might as well just drop them off now. Instead of carrying them all the way down below with me. To my destination. If you were unaware, it's a little ways away. Alright, so we'll get in here and let's see if they start to cure. I would bet, yeah. Yep. Alright, so they can stay here. I'll do the signal tower while I'm in Milton as well. Spare bread roll, wouldn't mind taking that with me. So I'll leave that here. I'm always curious. I keep mentioning it. Oh, I like to mention it anyway, that you never know what you're like, how the RNG is going to work. I'm already getting a feeling that Milton might be nice. It seems to be...
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
Regional, you know what I mean? It'll be like, you go to one place and you're like, man, I can't find anything in Pleasant Valley. There's just hardly anything. But for whatever reason here in Mountain Town, they're just stacked. You know? I'm of the opinion that that's what's up. Again, I got the 6-burner stove, so I can cave into my acorn weakness. If you don't know, I have a problem with acorns. Hi, my name is Pizza, and I can't not pick up acorns. And I brought my hammer back. To Mystery Lake. Now Milton is very close to Mystery Lake. It's you've seen how quickly I've made the cross. I mean, it's just a quick walk from Trappers. It's not even like 45 seconds to walk to the entrance to the cave from Trappers. So I often leave stuff in Milton that I want to use for later. Just come back and get it. So if I find a couple sets of tools or whatever, instead of trying to figure out how to haul all that stuff back with me, I can just leave some behind. You know, with some rosehip pies and some coffees, I can make it a day trip, more than likely. But if I take the time and you know, whatever, I guess you pull the acorn out of the shell, maybe? I don't know. I can get a lot of cooking score cooking up these acorns. and then they're prepped for me to turn them into grounds to use in recipes, make coffee. It's more of a tea. What's a deer? I was like, what is it? So for once, me filling up my pockets with acorns makes sense. And it is not some kind of obsessive problem that I have. You know, anything's good, but junk food would be nice. Coffee. Always looking for coffee. And, you know, we'll play the game. Again, I love it, but the pry bar and interloper is almost useless. I've got a little stalker run I'm doing on the side here. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I was going to do a video, but I might do it another time. But what I had at 30 days in that video and what I had in 30 days in this video is just outrageously different. Rifle, pistol, bow, arrows. I had expedition jacket, a leather jacket. I mean, it was, you know. Should be able to get some fuel out of these things, I feel. Alright, let's break in. We don't have any cash to steal anyway, right? And I love the little cash as fuel in this world. Nothing but fire starters. There we go. Yeah, any kind of candy bars will be great. Might look for some, you know, matches would be. I definitely want to walk out of here with hopefully a couple of books of matches. That'll help my further adventuring not be so
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
nerve-wracking. Come on, coffee. Nothing. Take those beef jerky strips there. Sometimes you can find a coffee in here. Not looking too good. Any sodas? Nothing. I'm already happy though. Can't complain. The junk food and the cattails get me through the night. I might smack a couple bunnies. There we go. So I need 2 wires and 3 transistors.
Best be prepared for anything.
A battery and 5 pieces of scrap. Now, I might have screwed up, now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't have my hacksaw with me. Well, I'll try to keep my eye out for things like lanterns, anything I can scrap. Hopefully I'll find a hacksaw. That would make life super easy. Yeah, I'll take the firewood. There's not a ton of firewood around the town. Anything in there? Yeah, there's another fuse. And little toilet water. I can pry bar. Here's the thing: you can pry bar this open and go out this door, but if you want to get back in, you got to pry bar it again. So you might as well just wait and open it from the outside. All right, I think I got everything out of here that I want right now. There's a couple things to remember. You know, I'll just take that with me for now. I'll leave it at the house. All right. Oh, hey, Saldar, how you doing? You have a hard time understanding this game? Well, I mean, it depends on how you play it, I suppose. I always recommend, I mean, play it in its easiest mode first. Not that you aren't the gamer, it's just that it helps you learn the maps. And this game, I think some of the most important thing you can do is to learn where to go. And if you do it on Pilgrim mode, you'll be able to add some time into your badges. That'll help you play your harder playthroughs once you start getting some of those, and then turn the wolves on. But yeah, I always say, you know, play it in Pilgrim mode. It counts towards your badges, and you can still get eaten by bears, stomped by moose, and to get occasionally attacked by wolves. But you need to learn where the mushrooms grow. You need to learn where the rose hips grow, where the cattails are, how to get from place to place. You know, I watched a lot of videos to try to see. That helped me sort of find out, you know, where some different transitions were. How to get out of Milton, where does it lead to. I watched videos on how to get to the, you know, the top of the mountain in Timberwolf. Now, if you want the challenge, and you can play Voyager mode, which will turn your wolves and bears on, and play that first if you feel like doing it the way I was talking about is too easy. Because Voyager mode is really just Pilgrim mode with wolves on, kind of. Another thing is if you play story mode, it's not my favorite. Episode 2 is just, if you can get through it, great. Because episode 3 and 4 are fine, but the nice thing about story mode is you hit a certain point where you get to leave the story part of it at the beginning. And the map is fully revealed in that version of the game, so it really helped me learn to get around places like Pleasant Valley, Forlorn Muskeg, I guess, Black Rock. So again, I personally would recommend playing it in its easiest mode. Hey, yeah, no problem, anytime. I play this game a lot. I've played it in different modes. I always say, you know, I earned my badges, so now I just pretty much play in custom mode and enjoy myself. I treat it more of like a survival game. But yeah, there's nothing more frustrating when you're first starting, especially where you don't know where to go, you don't know where everything is. And some of the mechanics are kind of, I think, silly, where like one wolf is tracking you like at all, and then you got to bump them 3 times in the same direction. You got to fight the same single wolf 3 times. Come on. Any goodies? We'll just do a little quick peek. And knock a couple of these vehicles off the list. I want to keep an eye out for a battery. I'm hoping there's one. I found one in a pickup truck near the. I guess we'll walk up to the tower you have to activate. Wow, Milton is not looking like it's going to be a big score this time. Oh, there's a few houses open. Okay. That car's wrecked. Okay. Again, I don't really think it matters interloper or pilgrim mode. You know, it's very random as far as like you come here and pilgrim mode. There are hardly any houses you can break into. Oh, hey, Salvador, thanks. I really appreciate that. Salvador has joined the army. The pizza army. Alright, let's see. I don't think it's this pickup truck. Or you could come here in interloper and there could be a ton of houses you can break into.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
And because the loot table is so low on this setting that you're not going to find too much loot, period. But yeah, it's looking pretty blocked off, you know. 4 or 5 houses I can break into, looks like. We got Grey Mama's house. Oh, fuel maybe? Sure. But yeah, I played story mode. It's alright. I think I really don't like the second part. Come on, be a battery. Dang it. Oh, look. Got a gun book.
Take it.
25 hours to read, but it gives you a lot of skill. Interloper, like trying to play, and again, this is something I mentioned before, but the way to look at it is Pilgrim mode's almost like a story mode on a lot of games where it's pretty darn simple. Voyager is basically the same thing. Stalker is barely a medium mode, and Interloper goes straight to insanity mode. There's no hard. There's not like really a hard level. So if you just put it on Interloper and you've died, I understand. Oh yeah, no problem. Hey man, anytime. You want to drop in again, say hello? Please do. Oh, there's a battery. But hey, keep playing and have a good day. Y'all be good to each other. Alright, let's peek in here. Some leather, that might come in handy. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this battery. It's gonna really slow things down. They weigh 33 pounds.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Astrid, I promise you only have to carry it right over to here. I'm going to stick it right in the middle of this snowbank on this old road here, just so I know it's there. I've gone up there and forgotten, you know, certain things, so I'm not forgetting this battery right out here in the middle. But that is great. Actually, I might go ahead and drop some of these other things. Just leave it all right here. It doesn't go bad or anything. Well, thank you. I'll check that out later. So much. Appreciate it. Toss that in there. And there's down there. So I need one more fuse. And, oh, did I bring this knife? Oh, no, that's the right one. Okay. And I need 3 more pieces of scrap. Yikes. I don't know about the scrap metal. We'll see. There's a good chance maybe I'll find it in one of these houses. Or maybe I'll find some lanterns or something I can scrap. Anyway, it's a nice time of day. I want to go ahead and get my snare set up. Now, you can have wolves up in here and they'll kill your rabbits. So I try to beat them to it and get the snares down. If they're not in here, which they aren't. And where do you want to put snares? Well, you want to put snares where you see rabbits. And I just saw a bunch of rabbits right up in here, so... Place one there. Now, sometimes in here, I have to move them around and give them a couple different spots, a couple different tries. Maybe we'll move this one over just a little bit. Maybe down now where that other one was. See how that works. But if you're unaware, snares are the best way to hunt rabbits, because if you just go in here with rocks and I kill them all, they're going to take a couple days to respawn. If you leave these here, I can catch 2 rabbits every single day, and these rabbits will stay in here until I either kill them with rocks or wolves do. But I'm standing here, so I might as well grab these mushrooms. And then we're going to go to Grey Mama's house. Normally I'd keep looking at all the cars, looking for a battery, but since I've got one... Hey, look at this little bun. You should get out of here, dude. This is where the wolves hang out, man. Go get my snare. But this one's heavily featured in the story, so some folks may be familiar with this little house here. And sometimes in this back shed, you can find a hacksaw. So, probably not. There's my other fuse, though. Take that pistol book. Again, it's RNG, so you never know. A drawer might have a hacksaw in it. Usually they're in toolboxes, though. But there's a farm nearby where you can also find a hacksaw. I'll check that out here in a bit. But I think the weather's going to do me well for a little run that I can knock out here and look for some loot. I think I can get combat pants in Interloper. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but if I can, hopefully they're going to be where I'm going. Alright, so normally I find enough food here. Nope. Nope. Different game. There we go. I find enough food here to keep the junk food in sort of its own area. Let me throw these acorns in here. Mushrooms and teas. I don't need to worry about that. I'll be coming across some more of those. There we go. Alright. I don't need to clean my gun right now. Let me pick a book. That's 25 hours. That's probably 10 hours. It's going to help me the most. Carcass harvesting. Carcass harvesting. Words. Not sewing anything right now. It's not too cold. Actually, I'll do that right while I'm here. And then keep the coal on me. I'll say, hopefully there's a cooking pot here. Carrots, taters, flour, another cooking book maybe? Ooh.
This'll come in handy.
Okay. Looks like some salt. Sometimes you can find the rifle on this rack. Not there today. And what's my weight? 72 pounds. Why am I still heavy? What do I need to get rid of here? A decent amount of water on me. And then I usually keep clothing over here. I'm happy. I'm going. Let me grab a book. No. Oh, dang. I just wasted time. Let's go ahead and eat. And keep a little bit of space for the coffee or tea if I need it. It's getting kind of late. However, I'd like to knock this out. So, I might end up even drinking that coffee. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is something I usually try to do as quickly as possible because it's kind of out of the way. Going in this direction is something you don't really need to do once. But I'm going to head up to this plane crash. And look for some loot, but there's a crate there you can break down. And if you are lucky, it can have a pair of pants in it. And they can be high level. So you can find the snow ones and any other version except interloper, or you can I guess here would either be work pants or the combat ones. Combat being the best. Cargo would be nice. Basically they're a little warmer than these crappy jeans I'm wearing. And a little bit lighter weight. No, I'm sorry. They'd be lighter weight than so that's what I gotta fix here with my battery and my wires and stuff. Only that last fuse right here. But yeah, I gotta drag that super heavy battery up here and plug that in to turn that on. But I'll wait for that. That'll be closer to like when I'm ready, about ready to leave. I want to peek back here in this little cave, have a quick look. Now, I'm going to leave the rose hips for now. But this little path I'm taking is going to lead me to quite a few. We got some coal.
Never know. Could end up being useful.
A little junk food won't hurt. 72 pounds. Bang. Bang. We'll leave everything else. And I'll drink that coffee. And turn around since I'm walking the wrong direction. Wait, what did I do wrong? Take a right. There we go. Alright, so this first little area, I don't think normally you run into any wolves. I don't think there's any wolves in here. I know there's bunnies in here, cattails, etc., rose hips, and I think occasionally on this level maybe a deer. I want to prep just a little bit in case, you know, a storm comes in. I mean, I thought it was going to get super foggy, which is actually not a bad thing. It's hard to see wolves and bears and whatever. I know where they all live, and of course they're on passive for this playthrough. Doesn't mean you can't get attacked or get in trouble, especially from the bears, but more than likely it should be okay. Now once we get up here, again, normally I don't run into the wolves here, but closer up to where the plane crashes. But they can come, I think, all the way down this way. You know, the weather here, I think there are worse places. I mean, if I'm thinking about it, this actually, I mean, I think you get a decent amount of snow, you know? You get your blizzards. But I feel like you get a decent amount of, you know, foggy, light snow, kind of garbage it is. But more buns, more cattails. The wolf or wolves are usually up here. You know, if you're playing anything other than interloper or a custom setup. There he is. You could just shoot him. Especially when he's a wooing. You can pretty much move right up to him when they're doing that. They don't do anything. You want to get down before he finishes or figure out what you're doing. I don't know if that was a hit or not. Anyway, you could shoot him. Probably better than what I just did. Wasted a bullet. You know, didn't even hit him. But use your bow, torch and a rock. He's gonna run right up on me. But we'll get down here. You can't come down here. And there's some scrap metal. Let's go ahead and pick that up. There's a stem. I can crack these crates and look for stuff. That's what I always tell people. Just in case. Should be a little bit of firewood where I'm going. There we go. Just need one more piece of scrap metal. I'll probably end up leaving some of this behind if the weather holds out. Sometimes there's a med kit. We got a briefcase. Now, for this part, I'm going to go ahead and grab some rose hips. I got to do something down here. I got to break apart this crate. And on many occasions, I've had the weather quickly change. And having a few things to keep warm is not a bad idea. I missed that one. Yeah, they do that on purpose. I mean, obviously they want to annoy the shit out of you and make you climb this thing over and over again for some reason. Or they would have made it not there and or had a different hitbox because I mean, they played the game before they released it, right? It'll be fine. Sometimes you gotta climb back up. You know they do that sometimes. They got to. I would. Harvest rose hill. And we've got some firewood. Now, I've come down here on with the plan of spending the night down here.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
So you could grab a little meat off this guy if you were really in that kind of need. But right here's the magic crate. We're going to break down and see if there's anything in it. Just started snowing. Nothing in there. Got a jerry can. That might come in handy. Anyway, got no pants out of it. I got no pants.
I think I can use this.
You hear the wind? I don't recall, I mean, it almost always changes to bad weather, pretty much every time you do it. But you got this nice little cave, you got some firewood, a sleeping mat. You can crack open some of these other crates and cardboard boxes if you'd like. There's a chance you'll find some loot in there. But not the loot I'm looking for, and I'm out. kind of heavy. My fatigue is gone past halfway, which means I'm losing it. The more that bar goes down, the less carry weight I have. Holy cow. I can't win on these broadcasts. Alright, I'm going to pause it right here for a minute. They're doing road work right outside my window. Give me just a couple minutes. Alright. Yeah, they're repaving the road. So that's fun. No, the other day, or last week I guess it was, I was broadcasting a Fallout video. And the neighbors started cutting the grass. I'm trying to have my windows open. It's a beautiful time of year. It's been fantastic. During the daytime, anyway. But yeah, I got the lawnmower man killing my vibe, my window vibe the other day. Got the pavers out there today. Alright. Anyway, my hope was for a nice pair of pants. You never know. It's hard to find a good pair of jeans in the apocalypse, apparently. But I'll do for now. Eventually, I'm going to have to think about my loadout. Like I said, the world's getting colder over time. And I'm eventually going to end up in places where, Timberwolf Mountain, Ash Canyon, some of these really cold places, Bleak Inlet. So at some point, more than likely, I'll end up in, 2 pairs of deerskin pants, but there's some noise that sounds like ptarmigan. But yeah, I'll try to keep my eyes out for some ptarmigan. I'll try to get some of the cooking done. I'm trying to remember. Are there? Oh, he killed the deer. Oh, that's a carcass. All right, never mind. It's supposed to be there. Snow. Yeah, I can't remember. Is there a recipe here? I don't remember. Oh, oh no, I gotta do it the other way. I can check for one of the other bunkers here. I'll do that on a different trip, though. Good old Milton. So Milton, I like to come and I like to. Maybe I did miss a couple. No, they're this way. I tend to have some luck finding coffee here. You know, you've got, like I said, I think maybe the most harvestables. I mean, if you're counting like, I mean, there's a decent amount of cattails too. Nothing like muskeg or anything, but there's a bunch. I think if you put it all together. Rose hips, acorns, mushrooms, cattails, etc. And we're not even, I mean, there's another whole other part of this place called the basin. Honestly, I rarely get to. It's not a bad place. You can walk out to Muskeg. I think it's Muskeg. And then it's cave living. You have to live in a cave, but plenty of game, deer, rabbits, wolves, bear, and sometimes the moose is down there. If I had found the Polaroid, this is one of the places where you can do that. Let's see. Let's get the hose down. And, yeah, let's get back. Now, depending on what I was doing and how I was faring, I would probably just go ahead and try to have a fire tonight and make up some water, some of the teas and whatever. But I think I'll stick with toilet water tonight. But I'm head back, get organized. Drop a few things off. Probably take another walk in the morning, depending on the weather. I could go to the farm. I'd rather just knock out the major movement stuff. So I decided to go ahead and run back to that other little spot. And I wish I cannot wait for them to fix that. I don't know why every time I walk through a door, I gotta sound like I just ran a marathon. It's a little annoying. What is that? So, yeah, I mean, the majority of what I've got on me is firewood. That's fine. Again, there's not a lot of wood for you to, like, even cut and chop down around here. You'd have a better time out at the farm. Hold on to that for now. See anything laying around? There's still plenty to do here, but this can actually be a good place for loot. I've got the guns on. Sometimes there's a pistol under this bed. Alright. Some tuna and a candy bar. Okay, see what time it is. I can probably read an hour of my book, believe it or not. Might be close. I got it in. I was gonna say, do I still have my whetstone? The good thing about, I mean, I'm using up my whetstone, but I'm also increasing my sharpening skill. So this is one of those things. It's not going to get better unless I do it. And I think I've got a couple more back at this house. But I'll keep my eyes out for some more while I'm here. But yeah, I need little things. That's why I'm here in Milton. Matches and whetstones and whatever I can get. That should get me through the night. Let's see. The sun's not quite up. But it sounds like a terrible day. And I'll just kill a little more time until I can read. And again, I should be able to see a little bit. I'll poke around the cabinets. While this weather figures itself out. Now, I have noticed that sometimes the weather that you're hearing doesn't necessarily match the weather that it's outside. Now, a lot of times I'll be listening and I'll think, man, it's just blowing and blowing and blowing, and then I'll go outside and it like immediately stops. So. God bless the toilet water. I don't really. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go.
Nobody needs this anymore.
Yeah, made the trip worth it already. So we're gonna need cloth at some point while we're here too. And they usually hide something back here. So we got a rabbit pelt. Sometimes it's bullets, food, you never know. But it's kind of a fun little game, I guess. It's getting brighter. Seeing maglins.
Well, this stuff will come in handy.
It's more successful in the low levels below the interloper loot table, but are those combat pants? What? That's what I came here for. That's what I came here for. Fantastic. You're done immediately. So, as you can see, they have waterproofing. Most of that's going to come from my jeans, but if they get completely soaked and through, I've got the next
Not
layer.
sure I can carry much more.
They have some windproofing, but a great. I mean, that's already 1 degree more. Excuse me, than the jean. So, get those sewed up at some point. And mission accomplished. I mean, I was hoping to get a better pair of pants here, and then it worked out. All right. Wasn't quite where I thought they were. And sometimes there's little bits of, you know, gloves, hats, and things laying around this area. But I try to give it as much clothing pulled here as I can get in here. And eventually I like to get in and just sew some random things. Obviously I need to, again, I haven't had the opportunity to really dig up things like sewing kits and different things that I need. Oh, look at that. We're already at 272 rose hips. I kept looking at my inventory. I was like, there's something, I'm holding on to something strange that I don't need. Alright, got the teas, got some coffees, kind of crap. I'll trade that out maybe. Plenty of this junk. I'll save pork and beans and grab a candy bar or two. Oh, and I'll eat one of these candy bars. And there we go. Again, just leave a little bit in case I need a cup of coffee. Normally I brew some ahead of time, but since I didn't cook last night, we're gonna call that good. Okay, so I've got my basics I need. I don't really let me pull these out so I can at least see them. Might come along a little bit of food along the way. Again, I'm just kind of killing time until the weather sounds like it changes. I'm not sure, again, if it's truly being represented correctly right now. Nothing in there. But just in case there was a can of tuna or coffee or something. All right. That should get me moving. All right, let's peek out the door and see if this weather is real or not. Again, on multiple occasions I've cracked that door open and it's like either just about immediately stopped or acts like it wasn't even blowing. You should probably come out this door ducked if you're playing in any other way than I am. So, yeah, no, it's yeah, that's a real blizzard. Who wants to read a book today? I do. Yeah, I mean, I can read a book. I'll read the book just so I don't want to. I try to read books when I can in the areas that I find them. That way, I'm not trying to tote this thing around with me to another zone map. I mean, I'll turn my headphones up a little bit. Kind of sounded like it just stopped. It's pretty early. There she goes. I was waiting for it. Bah. Sound stuff makes me nuts. There's certain sound glitches in Call of the Wild I can't stand. This one's making me crazy. Alright, it is not great weather. Blizzards can stop for a while and start right back up. But I know where I'm going. And the first leg of this little trip isn't that far. And there they are. And 3 of them. Wow. Yep. You should not be so cavalier. But I'm going to head up this road a little bit. We're going to check a couple of cars along the way and this church. And Milton's one of my favorite places to hunt moose in. And just like most reasons with the moose, you know, it can show up in a couple different places. But my favorite spot is up this way. My goodness. The wolves are having a party. But yeah, the funny thing is you'd think because Grandma's house is there and all that stuff that the town would be the best place to stay. It is absolutely one of the most dangerous places on this map. And I can walk right up on that porch that I came out on at Grandma's house. You'd be better off staying up here at the church or even out at the farm. Although it's pretty close quarters with them out there too. I'd say the farm is safer than town though. Or you can always do, like I said, what people choose, little offshoots, you know. The gas station gets wolves. They can be right outside the door. I would say the church or the blue trailers that I'm going to. Yeah, I don't normally really do much, you know, other than setting up, you know, some stuff I guess to come back to. But I guess if I was really going to make this my home, I'd probably go, yeah, with the farm or the church here. Why the church? Well, you can make a fire inside here. Which in a lot of, sometimes these little places like trailers and stuff, you can't. So, there's already a bed in here too. It's an interior with a fire pit. You know, I don't know if there's any, like, containers. This place is usually pretty sparse. A couple of books. You know, a can of peaches. Oh, no, there you go. So, what is this, 30 pounds? 30, yeah, 33 pounds. Speaking of noise, it sounds weird in here. The church is actually one of the few places, at least in the old game, where you could find a rifle. But ever since they introduced the new rifles and pistols in the game, I don't really find a lot of regular rifles and pistols around. Particularly, I find pistols. I don't find a ton of just rifles around. But anyway, so you've got this bed right here. Even if it's a little too cold at the beginning of the game, you can have a fire going. You've got some stuff you can break down. You can use these pews, I assume, to organize your stuff a little bit. Or I would. So yeah, I've watched a lot of videos. I've seen a lot of people make bases. I always like looking at places like... I like people who make their main base in a cave. That's pretty dope. You gotta really be hardcore to do that. And, you know, different places... Oh, I knew it! Yeah. Went right back to Blizzard. That's good. That's why I rarely travel without some reading materials. Okay. There's a pound less I have to carry. Now, if you really are into the decorating thing, which I am sometimes, I like to keep my books. But not today. Actually, that'll let me... I'll carry an extra book. Now, the little fake books are also, they come in different, like, covers and stuff. Maybe you're into that. But yeah, it just got me thinking about it. I was thinking about people basing out of different places, but also the people that really role play it up. I've done it a few times. I like to make the store in Coastal Highway like back into a store. Usually you can find enough stuff in Coastal Highway and Desolation to kind of put some stuff in there. Alright, there we go. And now it's after 12, so the whole world is warming up. Another battery. Use that for making bullets, which will have to happen at some point in this playthrough. Let me try to grab some of those other rifles too, if I can. I don't really know how it all works. But I know there's one that's more durable than the others. Always listening for ptarmigan. Yeah, sometimes you can find a little something out here by this bench. Poor Jessica Roy, huh? Alright. Let's get a move on. The weather's super nice. So this is the way you go to Hush River Valley too, and I'll be going there later. Probably in a different video. To do the signal tower. Okay, so we got a carcass. There we go. I want some, grab these saplings. And I'll just toss them in the church, which is just down the road anyway. I always like to tell people, you know, you see me running across all this ice. If you haven't figured it out, I played this game once or twice. If you're new, be careful. Test it a little bit. Walk out. It starts to hear that cracking noise. Just run back the way you walk to it. I'll grab you. It's going to snow again. There we go. And usually it has a friend at least. All right. There's a few cattails up in here. Oh yeah, well no, it's snowing now. So I've mentioned this before. If you have your crampons on and this is your outer layer. They're 100% waterproof and they will protect anything in this slot. So your improvised installation or your moose hide bag, your ear wrap, whatever. So if you want to keep them protected, just keep the crampons on. They can start curing. So 2 maples and 4 saplings. So far. Pardon me. I have a little bit of a dry spot in my throat or something. It's trying to choke me out. Alright, so we're going to head up the road. I'm just going to spy on a few things as we go along. Seems like a good place to hide some ptarmigan to me. Right? I hear a deer. But the way to Hush River is back that way, I think. Maybe it's up a little further. There's a bridge into town. I just wanted to come up here and see if there was any ptarmigan. If I was going to stick them in here, I'd stick them in up here. But there's the little road that heads up to where we're going to eventually. You can kind of see it from here. There it is. That blue trailer over there on the left. Well, and I'm going to walk past right now. So I think that's actually the way to Hush River. Yeah. I think if I went around that other way, it just takes me to a little lake behind the trailer. But I want to look up here and see if there's any moose sign. And I don't think there is. Usually I think you'd see it on one of these trees up in here. But yeah, this is absolutely one of my favorite places to hunt moose when they're in this location on the map. So it's somewhere else. I mean, usually if it's not here, it's down in the basin. Well, the basin is a big deal. It's like 2 rope climbs. And they're not necessarily the smaller ones, right? So that just wrecks you. You gotta have plenty of coffee, roasted pie, all that stuff. I probably want a few, venison pies for carry weight. Did I hear them? I do. They would stick them in here. Oh, I think I see them. There's a bunch. I haven't had too much luck throwing down at them. I'll give it a shot. There's a little bit of a ridge line there. I don't think so. They got me too many times with this little hill. Maybe this guy? No. Yeesh. Oh, you stinker. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, it looks like they want to run so bad. Oh, hey, buddy. Hey, 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 hey. Hey. I don't want to talk about it. My aim has been such crap. Ugh. Put your rocks away, pizza. Nobody wants to see that. Rose hips, come on. Let's see if there's any goodies in the trailer. And then I'm going to move on. I'm going to hit some cars and maybe shoot a bear. I thought there were some mushrooms around. Maybe I was wrong. And a little firewood. Yeah, you got the fire barrel out here, which is pretty nice, but they can occasionally get blown out. Yeah, they've got to fix that. I just... Oh, there we go.
Thank you.
Alright, I don't have to worry about that last piece of scrap metal anymore. And so, yeah, I mean, other than the farm, I'm trying to remember where else you can find them. A hacksaw. Nothing's coming to mind. Alright, I'm going to grab this piece of firewood and this book. Because I might shoot a bear. Oh. We'll see. I mean, I'm probably going to have to disperse the bear some way or another. It's, you know what's nice, though? I mean, on most maps, you'll figure out the 3 locations or whatever where you run into the bear the most, right? And then that's like their range or whatever. You'll spot them there. From time to time, sometimes you'll find them in some of the other places, etc. Are you going to try to blizzard on me one more time? I swear. The weather has been ridiculous today. So when I do the signal tower, I'll head up this way. I left that piece of firewood back there because I was like, well, at least I'll have something here when I come this way. And then I'll try to... basically, anytime you turn one of those, you put the battery in, you put the metal, and you get it all together and turn it on. You're going to get a Aurora that night. It's guaranteed. So I'll try to work it out that I can make the trip at night or dusk or whatever. And had to head up to Hush River to go turn the signal tower on. It's pretty easy. This is like I think the easiest way to get to Hush River. It's the cave in the back there. But anyway, so we can walk through the cave, we'll grab some coal and whatever, and then I'll use the walkie-talkie to... I mean, I don't even need the walkie-talkie anymore. I know exactly where to go. We'll turn it on. So right now, basically what I'm doing is I'm walking a big circle. Oh, I forgot to look for saplings. I had to come back up this way. Anyway, I'm walking in a big circle. And I want to check back here. Again, this used to be, I don't know if it still is, a place where you could find the regular rifle. Not one of the DLC rifles. Peeking. Oh, yeah. Sir. Maybe I'll grab a couple of these. Shooting the bear. So the bear's going to be... Oh, yeah. So, on this map, though, I mean, I've never... Whether it's day 1 or day 20 here... I've never walked to the end of this road and not encountered a bear. Never. And there's still a ton of exploring to do, so I'm hoping to come across a few more rifle bullets. You know, a few in each region. To keep me going. I'm getting the feathers and stuff together so I can start getting my bow, which will be the main hunting tool eventually. I keep looking for batteries though, because if we're really going 500 days, then I'm going to need to make bullets at some point. But eventually that's not even going to be something I can use. The day of the rifle and the pistol will probably run out. The only reason I have a longer thing is because I don't... Again, the degradation rate on your loot and interloper, or any of them, it does hardly make any sense. The analogy I like to use is a sweater isn't going to go bad in a drawer in 3 months. So that's ridiculous. I can't remember if there's any saplings back here. But usually I don't go back here because it kind of startles the bear. I already see him. Or did I? I thought he was in amongst the cars. Yeah, there he is. Holy. So there he is. Like I said, every time. I've never not bumped into him. I'm going to put a bullet in him and hopefully get in that car if he came at me. I don't think he could run forward. Like, I'm pretty sure he was like the max. I don't know that I remember him coming all the way across this far before. All right, he ran where I was hoping he ran. Which means he may get another shot on him. He usually goes to this very back area, and then it kind of throws him off. And sometimes he'll stop and start walking again. sometimes he ends up running right through here and back down that way. And he's still running. Okay, okay. I want to be near a car door. I'm pretty sure he's going to head up this way. Oh, he turned around. If he gets scooped up enough, he'll stop running. No. He's still making his goofy bear noise. Now another thing you can do is you could put down a fire and like make water and just kind of wait for him to die. Normally it kicks him out of this running thing. Oh, 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 oh. If he runs by me, I'm gonna try to shoot him. Oh, you know it. You saw it here, yes. Alright. Well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Dude, your head's in a snow hill. Unbelievable. One of the best times I shot him and he went up in his cave here. And he died and it makes like a natural windbreak. However, alright. What time of day is it? Yeah. We are going to get a little fire going here. Try to see if I can use, you know, the terrain. There's a little bit of a bowl here in his body. To get a little bit of a windbreak. And all I'm really going to do is just cut off a couple steaks, get them cooking, and see what I can carve off this guy. Before it gets too dark, the weather changes, etc. So I'll put these steaks on. It'll take about an hour. Okay. And then I could go for the hide. It's tempting. Well, let's cut about an hour's worth of meat off. There we go. Have a little something for dinner. And I'll do another hour.
The sun is setting. It'll get a lot colder soon. I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
There we go. And then I think I'm gonna take the skin and a steak. That's probably gonna do it. Since Milton is the kind of place where I do visit fairly often, I didn't check any of these cars. Anyway, um, I'm gonna probably just leave the bearskin here to cure, and that'll give me two. And there's my bearskin coat. Glove boxes, though, are a great place for random match spawns. So, ooh. And since we are doing with a randomly generated type thing, the more of those I look at, the better, right? Can't really see in here. Look like anything. But I'm going to check these cars out, and then I'm going to head towards a bunker and see if I won the bunker lottery on this one. If I did, it'd be good. It'd be good because I could walk out of here with a ton of stuff. You know, I wouldn't really need to, like, climb or do anything. Yeah, I guess if it, since, it, I mean, the best one would have been a Mystery Lake. But since that didn't happen, this would probably be the second best place. Because again, with that proximity, making multiple trips here for different reasons, you know, traveling to Hush River or whatever. So we got a good place to stick a bunch of loot and come back to for like a quick day trip. Speaking of a quick trip, seems like everybody who was watching is gone for the moment. I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick, and then check out the bunker and probably finish this video up here shortly. Okay. Now I think I can finish up here. So No battery. Let's get out of here. I can switch to the insulation for a little extra warmth. There we go. Since it is nighttime and it's not snowing. Now you can let those things get wet and frozen and whatever. And if you're a better ptarmigan hunter than I am, then go for it. Now I did adjust a few things. Well, I did the microphone last week basically, but I adjusted the brightness in this just a little bit. As far as I can tell, it's not helping me on the interiors. They're still just, you know, if I turn it up enough so that I can kind of see like you used to be able to see in there, everything gets kind of washed out. And you really can't see anything in it anyway. So yeah. Alright. We're going to head up this way. I think it's this way. No. We're going to go a little further. Yeah, there we go. We're going to walk back here. So this is where the bear was running it back and forth. You can't go through here. It's not really anything, I don't think, back here. I'll go take a look. Whatever. We're doing it anyway, right? It's a nice night. I said sketchily after the day of blizzards and snow. But I don't remember there being any loot back here. Skadoosh. Nah. The light radius, there's a few things I think they need to tweak. They did a bug fix not too long ago. That's cool, but there's still a few things. Interiors are too dark. The sound stuff, you know, just a few little things. I don't know if they ever fixed the fire starting glitch either. And I talked to someone in my last broadcast or stream that was talking about they were still having trouble, and I've had trouble too, drying out next to fires. No wolves back here that I ever recall. So once you get past the bear, you know. And we're going to run through this little cave. We're going to see if we can find any loot in here. And some coal. We got that jerry can, so I don't... Well, you know, we'll see what we got going on with me. I'd rather not use the match, obviously. I think I only have one flare. Save me a little fuel, though. The truth is, the lighter I make that jerry can, the easier it'll be for me to carry out of here. Eventually, so might as well use some of the oil. And I can fill it up while I'm fishing, or cooking fish. So. Hey, buddy. You can hold up in here for the night if the weather was real bad, but there's a bunker just right outside where I'm going. So. And what this is going to do is basically lead me in a circle back around to where the plane crash was. At least in that general area.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
But if you go this way, you get to a point where you have to commit, and you can't turn back. Which I don't have a problem with. There's tons of places to hide out. Even if I walked out of here in a blizzard, I wouldn't have to go that far to be safe. Especially with the bunker right outside. So, but after let's say I got to the part where you commit, and then I got hit by a blizzard, well then, there's a cave not too far by. A fairly linear way to get to it. You'd have to make a left at some point. I didn't think that turned off. So basically, we're right above one of those little ponds I had been walking by earlier when I went to look for the plane crash. And what we want to do while we're in here is hit the bunker. And I'll show you where that is here in just a second. Before we leave. So this is, like I said, this is the pond. Basically, the plane wreck and the wolf is like, you go up that hill, that's where we encountered that wolf. And then right through there is the plane crash. That wing I went down. And then over here is the bunker. So let's see. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. Did we win the bunker lottery? I mean, for an interloper, it's only going to be so much. But then again, if it's interloper, right, you think you'd be happy with just about anything. Looks like we got another bust. But I need to keep an eye out for a recipe or a pistol. Because they can be in these empty bunkers. I would bet you might get something if you broke that crate down, maybe. However, other than a piece of wood, really, and there's a little light in here, at least like by the stairs. It's not too bad. However, I know it's done. It's eliminated off the list. And at least for now. Probably for a while. Unless I wanted to hunt another bear. My need for this... Hello. This whole back area section of the map is just... I don't really need it anymore. Cattails and bunnies if I needed those. Anyway, you come down here, and then right here is where you've committed. Once you hop down this little spot, you're in, right? Can't go back. But we've been here before, like I said, so all we need to do is make a right. And again, could be a wolf in here, but they almost, I guarantee, oh, look at that. Look at that. That's a screenshot, isn't it? Right about here. Hold on. Yoink. Anyway. So yeah. So I went up that way to the plane crash. This will take me back down to the other little lake pond. It's more of a pond, right? That'll take me down by where the cave is, up to the radio tower, and on back to Grandma's house. Grandmother's house. To Grandmother's house we go. Well, I'm happy. I'm going to go, I'll probably, yeah, I'm going to call a video when I get back to the house. Again, I got a little bit of a Skyrim video out today. I ran into a technical difficulty. I'll spend some time trying to figure out which mod is breaking it. Luckily for me, I saw the anomaly. I spotted the anomaly. And I was like, that looks really weird and wrong. Well, let me do something I hardly ever... Oh yeah, here's a deer. I hardly ever do. And do a quick save, just for giggles. And then, like, moments later, the end. So I'll work on that. Tomorrow, I might do another Fallout video. Or Call of the Wild video. I haven't gone hunting in a minute. And then we'll see. I'm probably going to put out a few videos this week. But also, I'll have the opportunity this weekend, which I usually don't have, to do some streaming as well. So I thought it might be fun to try to do it during some times where there might be more people on. Maybe get a few people going in the chat there. A few folks watching. And then I was thinking a Sunday, lazy day kind of. These long broadcasts. Towards like the late morning, afternoon. When people are sitting around bored anyway, you know. That's amazing. This game. If you like the outdoors, if you like survival, if you like just a very visually great looking game, I certainly encourage you to give this a shot. Speaking of shot, let's see if I can line up a nice little end one here with that moon in it. I like that. Right there. I hear some bunnies running around. Oh, I got one. Perfect. Well, we know this snare works. Or at least the spot for the snare works. Usually it needs to be close by, so yeah, maybe we'll move it up here just a little bit. Got a bunny for breakfast. Well, I managed to get here and find the combat pants that I was looking for. They weren't in the spot that I thought they were, but at least I got them. I've got the big part of the map knocked out that I don't have to like really revisit pretty much ever again. I found the hacksaw so I can get another piece of scrap metal so I can get the signal tower going and I can run to Hush River Valley and get the signal tower turned on there. Or I mean get the signal tower turned on here, get the bunker there. There'll be a few things in it, even if it is interloper, baseline, loot table. And I mean, it won't be full of stuff, but again, a few things. We'll see what we can get out of that. And I think there's a cache nearby, too, that's not too hard to get, if I recall correctly. I'm not sure. But I'm warmer, better off, and most importantly, the main thing... Well, I got a bearskin, too, for the coat. One thing I was really starting to get low on, matches. We got a nice stack now. Plenty for traveling to other areas. And hopefully I'll find a few more before I'm done. Here. So, leave here with like 40 or so matches. I can pretty much go anywhere I need to. And gradually add to that as I'm moving along. So, yeah. A little bit of coffee. I got all these houses to loot. I got a farm to loot. There's a whole basin if I decide to go that way. Still a ton to do here. But got a lot done today. Wasn't the plan. It was going to be a long Skyrim day, but stuff happens. Yeah, and it's a shorter video. They tend to do well. More people tend to watch those. But anyway, If you happen to catch this, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you see this at a later date or time, thanks for watching. I just really want to thank everybody who's been watching my videos lately. You guys are killing it. I went to like 150 views in a couple days on my last Fallout video. That's really fast. I mean, they get up there in numbers, but you know, that's pretty quick for one of those. And then my helpful mods for settlement building is pretty close to 1,000 views. I'm thankful and excited about that. So, you guys have been subscribing, following, liking, and doing all that stuff. Thank you so very much. Just want to wish y'all to have a great day. Y'all be good to each other.